Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, I'm super excited to have you join the Factyatra family. This is the place where we uncover the wildest, weirdest, and most mind-blowing facts about India that you won't hear anywhere else. I'm Siddhant, your host and fellow curious explorer, and today I've got something truly special lined up for you. Every week, we dig deep into the stories, traditions, and secrets that make India so unique. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming up. India is a land of wild contrasts, where ancient wisdom meets modern madness, and every street corner tells a different story. Here, you'll find centuries-old traditions living side by side with cutting-edge technology, and the result is a country that's as unpredictable as it is fascinating. Just look around. Skyscrapers rise up right next to ancient temples, and the past and present are always in conversation. It's this blend that makes India so captivating, and sometimes a little bit crazy. But here's something you probably didn't know. There's actually a law that makes flying a kite illegal in certain situations. Sounds unbelievable, right? But it's true, and it's just one of the many quirky rules that still exist in our country. And get this, there's even a law that says you could be punished just for being jobless. Imagine that. In a country with over 1 billion people, being unemployed could actually land you in trouble with the law. These aren't just urban legends or old wives' tales, these are real laws still chilling in the Indian legal system, waiting to surprise anyone who stumbles across them. So buckle up and get ready, because today on Factyatra, we're diving deep into the top 10 strangest, most unexpected laws in India that you probably never knew existed. Some will make you laugh, some will make you scratch your head, but all of them will blow your mind. Let's get into it. Let's kick things off with a law that's so unusual, it might just surprise you. Picture this. You're in the middle of a vibrant Indian festival. The sky is bursting with color, and everyone's eyes are on the kites soaring above. It's a scene filled with joy, laughter, and tradition. Something you'd never expect to be tangled up in legal red tape. But believe it or not, there's a law on the books that could technically ruin your next kite flying session. Yes, even this simple, joyful activity isn't as innocent as it seems when you look at the fine print. The Indian Aircraft Act of 1934, a law that was written nearly a century ago, actually classifies kites as aircraft. That's right. Your humble paper or plastic kite is, in the eyes of the law, in the same category as airplanes and helicopters. So technically, if you want to fly a kite, you're supposed to get a permit, just like a pilot would before taking off in a real plane. It sounds absurd, but that's what the law says. Imagine heading to the park with your family or friends, arms full of kites and snacks, only to realize you're missing the most important thing, a government permit. The idea of filling out forms and waiting for approval just to enjoy a breezy afternoon seems almost comical. Of course, the law was originally made to prevent accidents in the airspace, especially as airplanes became more common in India. Authorities wanted to make sure nothing interfered with aviation safety. But in reality, this law is almost never enforced today. Still, every time you let a kite loose into the sky without official paperwork, you're technically breaking the law, even if no one's ever been arrested for it. It's one of those quirky rules that lingers on the books, more amusing than alarming. So next time you're flying a kite in India, just remember, you might be a lawbreaker in the eyes of history. Who knew something so simple could make you an outlaw for a day? Next up, let's take a trip down memory lane to a law that might just make you raise your eyebrows. It's one of those quirky rules that sounds almost unbelievable today, but was once considered essential for public hygiene and order. According to the Motor Vehicles Act, every public transport vehicle in India, yes, that means buses, taxis, and even auto rickshaws, was required to have a spitoon installed. Imagine stepping onto a bus and seeing a shiny metal spitoon bolted to the floor, right next to the driver's seat or tucked away in a corner. This might sound odd now, but back in the day, chewing pan and tobacco was a widespread habit. People would often spit the residue wherever they could, and public transport was no exception. The spitoon was meant to offer a designated spot, keeping the rest of the vehicle clean, or at least cleaner than it would have been otherwise. The intention behind the law was actually pretty practical. By providing spitoons, authorities hoped to prevent unsightly stains and unhygienic conditions inside buses and taxis. It was a small step towards maintaining public cleanliness, especially in a time when awareness about hygiene wasn't as widespread as it is today. Fast forward to today, and things have changed dramatically. Spitting in public is now widely discouraged, with signs everywhere warning against it. Most modern buses and taxis don't have spitoons at all, and the idea of installing one seems almost laughable to most commuters. Yet, despite all these changes, the law about mandatory spitoons still technically exists. It's a relic from a different era, quietly sitting in the rule books, completely out of sync with the realities of modern urban life in India. This is just one example of how some laws stick around long after their original purpose has faded away. They become part of the legal landscape even if no one really follows them anymore. It's a reminder that while society moves forward, the law sometimes lags behind, holding on to rules that no longer make sense. Who knows what other oddities are still hidden in the books, waiting to be discovered? Imagine a place where being unemployed is actually illegal. In Mizoram, local laws discourage chronic unemployment to promote self-sufficiency. Authorities can question and even penalize people who don't have a good reason for not working. It's all about community living and development. Sure, it sounds harsh, but it's rooted in Mizoram's unique social dynamics. Context matters. What seems odd elsewhere might make sense here. Still, it's one of India's most unusual laws. Planning a house party? Better check your state's alcohol laws. In places like Delhi, there's a legal limit to how much alcohol you can store at home. Go over the limit, and you could face fines or even raids. The idea is to prevent illegal sales, but it makes you wonder, shouldn't your fridge be your business? Just another example of how the law can sneak into your private life. Buying property in India isn't easy if you're not a local. States like Himachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir restrict outsiders from buying land. The goal? Protect local interests and preserve culture. But critics say these laws can slow down development and investment. It's a tricky balance between heritage and progress. No easy answers here, just another legal oddity. India's property laws are as complex as its culture. Did you know the Indian Post Office has a legal monopoly on delivering letters? Private couriers can handle parcels, but not your regular letters. This law dates back to the Indian Post Office Act and is still in force. In the age of email, it feels outdated, but it's still the law. Sometimes the old ways just refuse to budge. Delhi has a law that limits how lavish your wedding feast can be. It caps the number of guests and dishes to curb food wastage. Go overboard, and you could face a hefty fine. It's meant to encourage food donation, but it raises questions about personal freedom and tradition. Naming your child in India? There's a law for that too. Parents can't choose names that hurt religious or cultural sentiments. The registrar can reject names that cross the line. The intention is to keep the peace in a diverse country, but it does raise questions about freedom of expression. Even baby names aren't safe from the law. Some laws in India are more serious, like the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, or AFSPA. In certain regions, this law lets armed forces arrest without a warrant. Supporters say it's needed for security. Critics warn of human rights abuses. It's a deeply controversial law with real consequences. If you're in an AFSPA area, it's important to know your rights. Not all strange laws are harmless. Section 377, which criminalized homosexuality, was struck down in 2018. But its legacy still affects LGBTQ+ rights in India, especially in civil matters. The fight for true equality isn't over. Laws can change, but attitudes take time. Progress is happening, but there's still a long way to go. That's it. India's top 10 strangest laws. Which law blew your mind? Drop a comment below. For more wild facts, hit subscribe and join the Factyatra journey. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring. Let me know if you need further tightening or adjustments.